Francisco, a Quinn Martin production. Starring Carl Malden. Also starring Richard Hatch. With guest stars Don Johnson, Mario Rocuzzo, Gerald McRaney. Special guest star Darlene Carr. Tonight's episode, Hot Dog.
All units to 211 armored car at Blakely and Howard. Suspects last seen heading north on Blakely. Repeat, north on Blakely, riding motorcycles. One orange and one yellow. All units respond.
Hit it.
On Blakely, riding motorcycles. One orange, one yellow. All units respond.
4 boy, 111, in pursuit of 2 motorcycles. Believe suspects in 211. 4 boy, 111, suspects west on Strand.
Southwest on Lambeau. All units respond.
There he is. Are you all right?
Yeah, fine. I had that guy, you know that? I had him cold.
We didn't have a bad shot either till you bashed into us.
Me into you?
Well, we weren't moving.
He turned left going southeast on Brody. No, there's no chance. That's it, 10-4.
Yeah, but you were blocking the whole street.
Sure, trying to get the suspect.
Did anyone ever tell you that the man in pursuit has priority?
We didn't see you.
Well, all you had to do was look, Inspector.
Lieutenant,
Well, anyway, you made me lose him.
why don't you drop it? You knew other cars would be involved. They give you a radio. Why don't you use it?
At 90 miles an hour. Look at this.
So? Huh? I'm looking. How much you think it's going to cost to fix that? Brand new. We just picked it up this morning.
You can't put a price tag on law enforcement, Lieutenant.
Don't forget to file a report. Hot dog, you can spot him a mile away.
It was just an accident, Mike. What are you so upset about?
Attitude, Dan, his attitude. He thinks he's going to solve this case all by himself. The rest of us are going to get in his way. He's a real hot dog.
Are you sure it's not because he put a dent in our new car?
Yeah, that too.
Did I do something wrong, officer?
Yes, ma'am.
What did I do?
I see your driver's license, please, ma'am. Take it out, please.
You still haven't told me what I did.
You made an illegal U-turn, ma'am.
I did?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's okay where I come from.
Where's that, ma'am?
Arizona. I'm going back to school there in a few days.
You have a California driver's license?
Yeah, I got it before I went to Arizona.
Yes, ma'am. But you understand and agreed to abide by the laws of the state of California.
You're not going to give me a break, are you?
No, ma'am?
Even if I cried real tears and promised never to do it again?
No, ma'am.
Be careful. You almost smiled.
Let me give you some advice. Don't pay the ticket. Go to court and contest it.
You think I can beat it?
No. But it'll give me a chance to see you again. Would you object?
Well, I guess not.
What if I ask you to dinner?
Well, I don't know anything about you.
Well, I don't know anything about you either. That's why I ask you out, okay?
Okay.
Good. 6 o'clock tonight? Dinner.
Tonight, well,
This where you live?
yes, but...
Good. See you at 6. Oh, by the way, I don't have a car, just a bike. So skirts are out. Good afternoon.
All the vehicles were reported stolen. That probably goes for the bikes, too.
So the armored car was cased to the nail. They picked this street and sandwiched it. The fire scare opened the back and they escaped by motorcycles. Say, remind me to ask that hot dog if those bikes had any special racks on the back.
Lieutenant? This lady lives over there. During the commotion in the smoke, she saw a couple of bags go over the fence. Man jumped over, put him in a blue van, and took off.
Did you get a good look at the man?
No, he had a helmet on and some kind of a mask. He wasn't very big, but I did get part of his license number.
847.
I didn't get the letters.
Comb the area and see if anyone else saw that van. Thank you very much. Come on, let's put out an APB. We'll punch the central computer when we get back. If there's one common denominator among criminals, they never change a winning game. Now, what sticks out here is fire. They used it to make that heist work. Now, my guess is that if they used fire once before and were successful, they'll try it again. The computer will tell us. Say, what about that armored car driver?
Skull fracture, but he'll make it. The guard was DOA.
There's so little. Kill a man, just so he couldn't close the door. Jeannie!
Hi, Dad. Oh, I can't kiss you, and your dinner's on the stove. I'm going out.
Oh, to the opera or to a ball game?
I've got a date.
Oh, you got a date. Okay.
I called you at the office, but you weren't in.
No.
Tough day, huh?
Tough enough. What time's your date?
6 o'clock.
Anybody I know?
A guy.
What's his name?
Just somebody I met.
When?
This afternoon.
You met him this afternoon? You got a date with him already?
Well, sure.
How'd you meet him?
Well, we kind of ran into each other. Oh, would you get that? I'll be out in a second.
Well, hi there, Lieutenant. What are you doing here?
I live here.
How about that? Mike Stone and Gene Stone. That's quite a coincidence. She ready?
Hi there. Come on in.
Hi.
Dad, I'd like you to meet...
Larry Wilson.
We've already met.
Yeah, we sort of ran into each other.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't have time to change. With all those damage reports I had to fill out, I got behind. But my apartment's just on the way, so I thought we'd stop by and
You could slip into something a little more comfortable.
Exactly. While Gene waits outside.
Outside?
Well, somebody's got to watch the bike. You ready?
Don't forget your dinner.
I won't. It's on the stove.
Good night, Lieutenant.
What was that all about?
We dented his car today.
The new one?
Mm-hmm.
You sure know how to win friends.
Tell me about it.
Funny.
What?
You're not what I expected.
And just what did you expect?
Oh, something in the way of a right-wing, ultra-conservative redneck with Gestapo overtones.
It's the uniform.
Uh-huh. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. You've agreed to abide by the laws of the state of California, ma'am. You reminded me of a big blue robot.
Well, then why did you go out with me?
Because you smiled. Robots don't smile.
I'll have to remember that.
Oh, you mean you don't do this all the time? Well, it goes like a well-oiled machine. The smile, the date, the little Italian restaurant.
Not true, and you know it. Besides, you're not the type to go for an easy smile and a cheap line.
Thank you, sir.
I'll tell you something else if you promise you won't tell. It's against regulations to ask a girl out on a date while you're giving her a ticket.
Well, then why did you?
Because you're leaving in 3 days.
Unfortunately, I have to get back to school.
What do you study?
The past,
History?
archaeology, the science of moving dirt around to find out something about the people who moved the dirt before we moved it.
Sounds fascinating.
What it comes down to is digging a hole.
Then why do you want to be an archaeologist?
Why do you want to be a cop?
Because you never know when you go to work in the morning what your day is going to be like. What's waiting for you out there. What you're going to find.
That's why I want to be an archaeologist.
Do you ever get used to these steps?
No, but we don't get a lot of salesmen, so they're good for something.
Next time I'll bring oxygen, a bottle of brandy for a little nightcap.
Ah.
If there'll be a next time.
Dad, really?
I thought I heard something.
Yes, it was me gasping for air. Thank you for a very pleasant evening. like your hair that way. Good night, Lieutenant.
Good night.
Good night.
I don't believe it. I really don't believe it. You're acting just like a father.
I am a father.
All right, then, a nervous father.
Yes, I'll admit to that. Especially when I saw you climb on the back end of that motorcycle.
Motorcycles are perfectly safe.
I didn't say they aren't. But I'm talking about the hot dog that's driving it. I'm familiar with his work.
You're just upset because he dented your car.
No, I'm upset because he didn't follow procedure. Because he didn't tell anyone he was in hot pursuit. And because he not only endangered his life, but he could have endangered somebody else's. If someday that, listen to me. Someday that hot dog is going to fly over the high side, and he's going to paint himself on the pavement. And when he does, I don't want him to take you along with him. So you just stay off that motorcycle. And stay away from him.
This has nothing to do with you, or the police department, or procedures. It's between me and him. And don't forget to turn off the porch light before you go to bed.
Car washing, 16.
Call in the print boys yet?
They're on their way. What the?
Pull over.
You're right, it's him.
Hey, Lieutenant. I knew it was you when I saw the dent in the door.
Can't miss it, can you?
There's something I was going to tell you last night, but the porch light drove it right out of my head.
Okay, let's get to the point.
On that armored car robbery, what are you looking for?
We're working on an MO, fire, arson. We think that operation was so successful that they probably did it before somewhere.
You're looking for a biker.
Well, the fact that they all left on motorcycles, that's only part of the MO.
No, it's more than that. Those guys were good. Pros. The guy I was chasing racked twice, laid it down once, and never even came close to losing it on a jump. He's also wearing a motocross boot.
What?
It's a special biker's boot with a steel toe. He could really pivot on it. He's either a dirt racer or rides motocross. That's what you're looking for.
Thank you. Thank you, Officer Wilson, for taking time off your job and telling us all that.
Well, that's okay. I'm off duty anyway. I was on my way back to the station when I...
Saw the dent.
Could be right.
We can't put out an APB on a biker. We don't have that many policemen in San Francisco. Well, come on, don't just sit there. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Some guy, I don't know. He wore dark glasses and a hat. He paid cash. We don't look at the man. We look at the truck. See if there's any damage to it, you know? Look at the tires. See if it'll fit through the machine. He said he'd be back in half an hour. That was yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. No prints. It's clean, Mike. Really clean.
We do a good job. The people work for me are trained, you know?
Was the man wearing overalls the driver?
Maybe. Yeah, I think so.
We found a grease smudge on the brake pedal. Said the lab might be able to give us an analysis.
Did the lab say how long it would take?
No, but they knew you'd ask.
Come on.
See.
Dad could only see you.
I'll stick around.
Amazing. Everything fits. Where did you get these?
Out of my closet. Well, things you collect without ever really wanting to.
Oh, I see. You know, this is ridiculous.
Now listen, you can't be a serious biker. Just stay home.
Yes, sir.
That's better. Still a little early. Do you mind stopping by this place on the way?
No, not at all.
What can I do for you?
Looking for a guy. Thought maybe you might be able to help me.
What's his name?
I forgot.
Aw.
Oh, man, I was loaded and I just forgot. Is it down south in the Channel Islands motocross?
I was down for that one.
Okay, you know the joint on 101 just south of Big Sur coming back that Sunday night?
Don't remind me.
Right. Well, a guy there gave me 20 bucks and I want to pay him back. But I don't have the name. Tall dude. I really can't tell you what he looks like, but I rode with him for a while up the coast till he lost me. Could really lay it down. Even rode street with a steel toe.
That's Don. I'll bet on it.
Could be a million guys.
No, Don. I forget his last name. Hey, ask around. You'll find him. Hey, try Binky's. Okay?
Oh, okay, thanks. I'll do that. You going up to Eugene for the scramble?
Hey, I wouldn't miss it.
See you there.
You're amazing.
I hoped you wouldn't find out.
Hey, Roger, why don't you go sweep out the office, all right? I don't like you coming here.
Well, there's a guy over at Mella's, and he's asking questions about somebody with a hot shoe.
What do you look like?
Normal, had a girl with him, but I think he's a cop. How are they gonna know anything?
Where's Don?
I don't know. I went over to his place. Landlady said he's been gone a couple of days.
All right, find him. Tell him to crawl in a hole and stay there until we let him out.
Yeah, okay. Now, this guy, you think he's gonna come around here asking questions?
If he's making the rounds, he is.
Why are you doing this? Looking for this Don character, I mean. Is it your job?
Technically, no. But what I do on my own is my business. Hang on.
What is it?
I think there's a robbery going on in that liquor store. Go to that phone booth over there and call the police. Tell them there's a 211 in progress. Officer needs assistance. Can you do that?
Sure. Yes, he's in there already, and they're shooting.
I'm a police officer. Put the gun on the counter and your hands in the air.
Not me! Now you stay where you are and she doesn't get hurt. a doctor.
I gotta go down and file a report because of the shooting. Can you get home all right by yourself?
Sure.
I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do.
Jeannie. Jeannie. Are you all right?
Oh, sure, of course. I'm all right. But listen, they've taken Larry downtown.
He is a jerk. They ought to take him all the way to Siberia. I get a call on my radio. Hey, Mike, your daughter is backing up Larry Wilson in a shootout at a liquor store.
All I did was make one telephone call.
Sure, from a glass booth, right in the line of fire. 211 my foot. Did he tell you to say that?
Now, wait a minute. He went in that store
Without a backup.
He did what he had to do.
Maybe. Maybe, but what he did was very dangerous, and he put you right in the middle of it. Now, look, I want you to give me your word that you will never see him again. Your word. I want you to give me your word.
Hey, Mike, how'd the review board go?
Larry Wilson was sent back to duty without a reprimand.
Thought it was against regulations to fire when someone's got a hostage.
It was a judgment call. I voted in his favor.
A lot of trouble getting his records. How come?
The more you dislike a person, the tougher it is to be fair. What have you got there?
Computer readout.
That's not bad. 3 previous firebomb robberies. Bank in Seattle, armored car in Los Angeles. And a jewel heist right here in San Francisco.
But still no leads.
You know, if these jobs are done by the same outfit, and it's my guess they are, then we got pros, and pros are ex-cons, and cons have records. Say, let's talk to the jewelry store guy. Maybe he can come up with something. And what about the lab? They gonna make all that grease yet?
Not yet. They say it's exotic. They're working on it.
Exotic? Grease is grease.
Help you? Maybe. Looking for a guy. Name is Don. Where's the steel cap boot?
I don't know any Don. Sorry. But you can put a card on the board in there if you want. A lot of people look at it.
That's a good idea. If I don't find him, I'll do that.
Hello?
This is Marty. Where's Don?
Beats me. I looked everywhere for him. I heard he was down in Morro Bay.
The guy was here asking questions. If he ain't a cop, he's sure close. Look, go to Morro Bay. Find Don before somebody else does.
Yeah, okay.
Don't mess around, Buck. I've been at this a long time. There's heat out there. I can feel it.
There were 17, just like this one. Gone in less than 90 seconds. Traumatic. The jewel case was handcuffed to my wrist. You know, at first I thought, oh, God, they're going to cut off my arm. But one of them had cutters. Severed the chain, only cut me right here, which certainly was a consolation, believe me. I still have dreams.
Then they ran across the street and jumped on motorcycles.
Yes, and that was that. I just sat on the curb and waited until the ambulance came.
You said they wore headgear and masks?
Correct. I had no way of identifying them.
What about clothes?
Sort of coveralls, nothing special. Oh, one of them was very dirty, greasy.
Shoes. What about shoes?
I don't remember.
Sneakers, moccasins, boots.
Boots. Yes. Funny, I did see when they were cutting the chain, I looked down. And there beyond my own arm was one boot. You know, at first I thought, oh, the poor man must be a cripple. He certainly ran well enough when he crossed the street. Yes. Strange boots with steel cups over the toes.
The biker's boot.
Your hot dog put his finger on it.
You're on time.
Well, don't look so surprised.
Thank you. How come you didn't want me to pick you up at your house?
It's chauvinistic. A man having to pick up a woman at her door is an archaic ritual. Like 50 years ago, a woman spending an evening alone with a man in his apartment would have been considered a fallen woman.
Just goes to show you how little things have changed in the last 50 years. You know what I think?
What?
I think it's because you didn't want your father to know that you were going out with me.
Well, if you're going to start reading my mind, I better leave right now.
I'm burning the water. Mm-hmm.
Larry, what's a hot dog?
A hot dog. That's something you eat at a baseball game, isn't it?
In police terminology.
A hot dog is someone who goes straight ahead, full speed. Doesn't look left, doesn't look right, doesn't look back. He just goes.
What's wrong with that?
Well, you might say that he doesn't always go by the book.
My dad doesn't want me to see you anymore.
Why is that? Because I'm a hot dog?
The classic father-daughter confrontation. But he can see this is the first time I've ever been serious about it. So now you know why all us stones have such tiny feet. So they can fit easily into our mouths.
Cheers.
Do you go to law school?
Uh-huh. Nights. I'm halfway through.
Well, you didn't say anything.
When I pass the bar, believe me, I'll tell the world.
Well, then what? Private practice?
No. Law enforcement all the way. I hope to end up behind the desk in the DA's office.
That's an ambitious dream.
No, not a dream. Dreams are things you never achieve.
Do you have any of those?
Mm-hmm. I'd like to have the fastest bike in the world and race on the Isle of Man.
Well, you could do that. That's not a dream.
And I win the race?
Okay, that's a dream. Anything else?
You.
What about me?
I think you're one of my dreams.
I think you're wrong.
Yeah, I'll be right down.
Who was it?
Gotta stop drinking so much coffee. It makes you nervous. How about trying some nice, fresh carrot juice?
Oh, no. I just went to bed late last night.
Something wrong?
Mm-mm. I was hooked on a late-night movie. Murder mystery. Who's on the phone?
The lab. They finished with the grease. I'll go get the report. Hi, Jeannie.
Hi, Dan. You busy?
No. Come on in.
I was I was in the neighborhood, and I thought I might be able to take you to lunch.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe tomorrow.
Well, I go back to school tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Time sure flies, doesn't it? How about dinner tonight? Just you and me. I know a quiet little place.
I can't, Mike. I have a date.
Okay. You win. Where would you like to have lunch?
You know, sooner or later, we're going to have to talk about him.
Now, you know how I feel about him.
Yeah, but you don't know how I feel. Dad, you don't even know him.
Yes, I do. Don't you think I checked? I asked at least a half a dozen people around here, and he is wrong for you.
Why?
Do you have any idea how many Larry Wilsons I've seen in my 24 years on the force? 50, maybe 100. And you know how many are left? Alive in one piece? Maybe a handful.
Well, I think he's better than you give him credit for.
Okay, let's say that you're right. Let's say that he lives and he stays on the force. What then? Have you really thought about that? Married to a man who was never home when you need him. And your friends would be policemen and their wives because, well, the other people in the world, they're just a little nervous around us. And if you heard a car backfire or you heard something on the radio, your heart would stop a beat because you think it was him. You think he's lying there in an alley somewhere. And when he does come home, tired and angry and crazy because he had to help pull out the remains of 3 teenage kids from what was left of their father's car. Do you know what happens to the guts of a man who spends every day of his life sweeping up the world? Do you want to live like that?
My mother did. Dad, I understand what you're saying. And I know you have my best interests at heart. But if Larry Wilson asks me to marry him, I'm going to.
Mike, are you available?
Yeah, what have you got?
I have the grease report. It's a special blend, which is what took them so long. It's made in Italy for racing motorcycles. Only 3 bike shops in San Francisco carry it.
Bikers?
Like the men said.
Let's go. Come on. Hey, fella. Can we talk to you for a minute? You sell,
Fantoni.
Fantoni, that special racing grease?
How many cans you want?
We just want a list of all the names of the people who bought it.
You gotta be kidding.
You don't have it, right?
No, I do. That's the funny part. Anything else in the shop, receipts, no records, nothing. But that stuff, well, the guys that use it are pros. They're into it, you know? So I made a mailing list and I got the receipts.
Can we have these? I'll make copies and see you get them back.
I should say no.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I could probably put together a list for you. Only about 10 people bought that stuff. Shouldn't be too hard.
We'd appreciate it. We'll drop back this afternoon.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
What is that? 2 down and 1 to go.
4 boy 111. Unable. M107.
Fantoni, that special racing grease. It's made in Italy.
Yeah, we have it. I'm pretty sure.
Sell a lot of it?
I guess so.
Well, listen, we want a list of all the people who bought that product. Can you give us that list?
We don't have any lists. You better come back later.
Why?
The boss will be here.
Okay, fine. Thanks. We'll be back later.
Thank you.
Oh, gee, Marty, the police just came. I didn't know you were here.
No, that's all right. You go home now and I'll close up.
For the rest of the day?
Yeah, all day.
Oh, thanks, Marty.
Okay.
I think we ought to check out the boss.
Yeah. Everybody else had a list to show us. You know, I don't think that fellow knows anything. Let's call for a stakeout. Inspectors 8-1 to headquarters.
Hey, did you see that? A biker's boot with a steel toe. Beat it! Cops! Come on! Go get him.
I'm all right.
Freeze! Get the sidewalk. Get the feet back. Okay, let's go. Move! Move it!
Larry? Are you all right? Larry, can you hear me? Now, I know you're a good shot, but please, don't overdo it.
Hi.
About our tennis game.
You had us going. You really did.
Who's us?
Dad's here, too. He's running around out there, telling everybody you're 6 different kinds of a fool. But I think he's kind of proud of you.
He's right, you know.
You're 6 different kinds of a fool?
I am a hot dog. I only know how to handle things one way. Straight ahead and full speed.
That can get you killed, Larry. I don't think I could take it. Guess I'm not much for hospitals.
Rough, huh? Been having second thoughts?
Let's just say I've been thinking. Well, I think I like it best when you graduate from law school and get a job behind a nice, safe desk.
I've been having the same thoughts.
Am I a coward?
No. You're a real hot dog. Straight ahead and full speed.
Larry,
Don't look back.
Are you sure you don't want me to drive you?
no, I'll be all right.
Jeannie, now you know I have always wanted you to have the best of everything. I really have. And, well, I was wrong. I have no right to tell you who to fall in love with and who not to fall in love with. I just didn't want to see you get hurt. I've always wanted to see you happy.
Dad. Thanks. Larry and I have already decided not to see each other for a while. It had nothing to do with you, okay?
Why couldn't she have told me that before I made my little speech?
Would have been too easy.
Just like her mother. Always has to be right.
Yeah, she's sure not like her father.